get this championship. I appreciate that stuff, and I want to win to experience that stuff, but it's not the end-all, be-all of why I played the game. That is courtesy of ESPN. And Kevin Durant, of course, a two-time NBA champ and one of the 15 best players I've ever seen in NBA history. But do you, and I'll start with you, Jed, do you agree with that quote from Kevin Durant?
Well, that's his quote, so I can't agree or disagree with it. I think I find it really interesting, though, because he's such a competitor and he's such an incredible basketball player. And I thought he came here to win a championship, you know, and I think the fact that he wants to make himself better is great. But I don't know about you, Darrell, but my motivation every time I went out on the court was to win, and to win at the end of the season, to win a championship.
Right, you know, to feel that feeling, that confetti coming down, popping that champagne, you know, having a great time. So it's just interesting to hear that. And we all know KD is, you know, he loves his craft, he loves the game of basketball. And to hear him say he's still trying to find ways to get better and better, it's definitely scary, but at the end, it's always about winning. You know, he's always trying to find ways to be a winner.
Weird that he wasn't happy with winning 2 NBA championships. It solidified his legacy, man. And he outplayed LeBron James in 2017 and 18.
Well, if you look at the best players over history, right, like Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, et cetera, like Larry Bird, Magic, they all wanted to win championships. So it's just an interesting thing to say, I think.
Yeah, very, very interesting. Let's give it a little credit, though, right now to the Warriors bench, courtesy of our good friends at Provident Credit Union. And the bench yesterday started off the fourth quarter down 6. They went on a 12-2 run to take the lead. You see the nice dime from Jordan Poole. He's been struggling as of late, but that was a good play. You see Damian Lee with the Euro step. Misses the layup, but Bazemore crashed in the glass. And old James Wiseman, who we'll discuss in just a second here, he played well in that stretch for the bench. And, you know, they were outscored 32-14 yesterday by the Wizards bench. But that run right there, going into the fourth quarter, was pretty good by the bench.
Yeah, this is what they have to bring every single night. And we talked about it yesterday. Being a reliever, one of my coaches used to call the bench, you're a reliever. Come in with your energy. Come in, either take the lead up or keep the game balanced. So I thought they did a great job with letting the starters come in and finish.
All right, let's go to Kendra Andrews, our Warriors reporter, powered by Cisco WebEx. And Kendra, good evening. As the Warriors try to wash away that bad taste in their mouth from last night's loss against the Washington Wizards. And we're just discussing the bench here, a 12-2 run in the fourth quarter. But moving forward, can Steve Kerr trust this bench to be consistent?
That is the big question, because just as you guys were talking about, that fourth quarter was the embodiment of what their second unit needs to do. But it's been an issue all season long that they haven't been able to keep it up. At the end of the first quarter into the second, end of the third quarter into the fourth, that's often when the Warriors will either give up their lead or the opponent will be able to create some serious separation between the two of them. And as Darrell was just saying, all the Warriors' second unit needs to do is survive those minutes that Steph Curry and Draymond Green are off onto the bench, especially when Steve Kerr says he doesn't want to extend their minutes. But they haven't been able to do that. Heading into the fourth last night before that run, Damian Lee was the only person off the bench to put anything up on the offensive end. Now, Steve Kerr told me earlier today that he understands they are a top-heavy scoring team, meaning they rely more on their starters to score than anyone off the bench, but he believes the bench can get it done other ways, like with their defense. But far too often, they haven't been able to give enough on either end of the floor. And, you know, Monty's talking about how the Warriors have to treat every game from here on out as a playoff game, as a play-in game. And in playoff series, bench minutes are very, very important. So they have to figure out how to keep up what they did in that fourth quarter here on out.
So, Kendra, we've seen a lot of different rotation combinations by Steve Kerr and his team, whether it's the second unit in the second quarter, in the fourth quarter. How will it play out for the rest of the season? Can we expect to see any more different rotation combinations moving forward?
I think we're going to see a lot of the same rotation and combinations that we saw in that fourth quarter. James Wiseman, Andrew Wiggins, or Kelly Oubre, depending, alongside Damian Lee, Kent Bazemore, and Jordan Poole, because they complement each other very nicely. That's what Steve Kerr was saying last night. Jordan Poole and James Wiseman have created a nice pick and roll with each other. And with James diving, it opens up a lot of three-point scoring opportunities for those other players who can shoot and who can knock those shots down. And with the inverse, because those guys can knock down three-pointers, it pulls defenders away and opens up some room in the paint for James Wiseman to go and score. So I expect Steve Kerr to rely on that second unit a lot throughout the rest of the season.
And tonight at a start, obviously without Kelly Oubre Jr., so he'll have to go deep into the bench. Possibly we'll see the debut of Gary Payton II, maybe in this game against the Houston Rockets. Kendra, good insight there. We'll talk to you later as we take a look at the 4 starting lineups here. Without Kelly Oubre Jr., who will the Warriors start? Well, looks like Kent Bazemore will get the call. Darrell and Jennifer. Kent Bazemore did have a solid game against Milwaukee, 18 points and 4 threes in that one. Last night he struggled a bit, 1 for 6. 4 points. One guy who didn't struggle was James Wiseman with 18 and 6. And here, what young James Wiseman had to say last night about his performance.
You feel like you're gaining a little bit of an offensive rhythm. That was kind of your second straight, nice offensive night.
It feels good. I mean, I just put in a lot of hours in the gym after practice, and I just work on my game. So I'm most definitely gaining confidence out there and just keep getting reps up in terms of defensive end, and which I need to be better at, which I'm getting better at that. But, I mean, yeah, I just stay in the gym. That's all.
What was the challenge of guarding Alex Len and Robin Lopez tonight?
Robin Lopez, it was most definitely a challenge. I mean, it was crazy how he made that hook shot from the short corner, and I don't know how he made that, but, I mean, very physical, got great footwork, but I just got to make sure I stay on my feet and just use my length in terms of just jumping at everything, which I need to get better at.
All right, James Wiseman with the great recall yesterday. We remember that hook shot from Robin Lopez, and Robin Lopez tried to look like Shaq last night. Alex Len, Robin Lopez, and Hachimura, they all gave Wiseman and Draymond their money's worth. But look, we talk about the growing pains of James Wiseman. Last night, 18.6 rebounds. We saw the Milwaukee game where he had a double-double. It's been an up-and-down year for him, but it seems like he's growing in the right direction, Darrell.
Yeah, he's going in the right direction. It's his first year. He missed so much time. Right here, the quick slip. Draymond telling him, roll hard, I'll get it to you.
Well, and it's interesting when you watch him with Steph and with Draymond, that's when I think he really shines. And now he knows where to be, knows when to be at the rim, he knows when to play off of Steph, and he's been a lot more aggressive.
Yep, and right here, we talked about the dunker all the time. He's finding that area now.
And, he's taken his time. I think he's a little bit more patient, too, with his movement, and then turns the ball over. And, again, just as making young mistakes. I think, Darrell, people have put a lot of pressure on him. But, Lopez is an experienced player there.
A very crafty vet. But right here, the advice I give him is don't let him get into your body. Meet him a little bit earlier. You know what's going to happen. They're just trying to set up the short roll for the big. So meet him early, let him feel you, and then you kind of knock Robin Lopez off balance.
No doubt he's got to stay on the ground there. Don't fight for the pump fakes. Great advice there. Look, he's got to get stronger. We know that. He's got to get in the NBA weight room. He just turned 20 years old. But let's look at some rookies here that have been compared to James Wiseman. And let's start off with Kevin Garnett, who is a rookie, averaged 10.5 points per game, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, and a block and a half. What do you see from young KG? What can Wiseman take away from a young KG?
I think the first thing is how KG ran the floor so well. You see how he caught everything high, he ran the floor, and he finished over the top. So I think he has a lot of KG in him as well.
Here's Dwight Howard, Jennifer. Dwight Howard right here is a rookie, averaged 12 points per game and 10 rebounds in over 30 minutes a game.
Well, and I think what you notice about both players is they're nothing of what they became, right? It's like when they started, but now, when you see them later in their careers, it's unbelievable.
And that was Anthony Davis right there, a skinny Anthony Davis. Man, look how skinny he is.
Crazy.
Unibrow still strong, but 13.5 points per game, 8 rebounds from AD. So the averages, you look at Wiseman, what he's averaging this season, 11.5 points per game, 6 rebounds, 52% from the floor. Probably a rebounding he needs to improve on, which we've seen recently, him crashing the glass and just getting stronger.
Yeah, I think having more attention to detail to grabbing rebounds, chasing them down to make you a good rebound. You got to rebound outside of your position. So I think if he learns to do that and chase more rebounds down, he'll become a way better rebounder.
And I think in particular offensive rebounding, I think that's an area of weakness for the Warriors in general, and I think he could really step up there as well. But, I mean, to your point, he just needs to get stronger. And he said in his interview he likes to be in the gym. And I think he's had a great rookie season, a great start, and I still think the sky's the limit for him. I think people have been sort of unnecessarily a little bit critical of him, but I think you look at his numbers, they're ahead of these guys.
They're on par with these guys.
Yeah.
They're on par. Jermaine O'Neal didn't even play his rookie season. People want him to be Tim Duncan and David Robinson right out to shoot. Patience, folks. James Wiseman looks like he'll be just fine. Just ask people about Steph Curry. Remember the impatience about Steph Curry? They wanted him out of town. Well, app powered powered by PointsBet. Download the NBC Sports Predictor app for 2 free games per week with cash prizes up to $50,000. Just answer the questions correctly and you could win. You can download the app by scanning the QR code on your screen. And let's give the fans some expert analysis to help you win some free money here. And we're going to start it off with the most points by a player. And we'll start it off with Jennifer. Tonight, we got De'Aaron Fox, Donovan Mitchell, Steph Curry, Bradley Beal, or Devin Booker. Who you got?
Talented scorers there, but I've got to go with Steph Curry. I mean, Bradley Beal's leading the league in scoring, but he's coming back from an injury.
All right, we got Darrell's former team, the Philadelphia 76ers, against OKC. How many points will the Sixers score tonight?
I'm going to go with 117.
Ooh, high scoring affair.
Yeah, high scoring affair. OKC, not that great of a defensive team.
All right, total threes tonight between the Sacramento Kings and the Utah Jazz. We know the Jazz shoot it really well. What about the Kings? What you got, Jennifer?
If they both hit close to their averages, I'm going to go with 23 to 26.
I like that pick right there. I like it. All right, Darrell. Warriors threes versus the Rockets. Remember, no Kelly Oubre Jr. tonight. How many threes you got for the Warriors?
I'm going to go with 13. Half of those will be from Steph Curry, the chef.
Ooh, the chef. All right, I like it. What about rebounds for the Wizards? We just saw last night against the Warriors, Jennifer, against the Phoenix Suns. What you got for rebounds from the Wizards?
I got it. It's not a good one. I'm going to go with 0. I'm going to go with 0 to 37. Not a great rebounding team, and Suns are going to be tough.
All right, here we go. Blazers, another former team with Darrell Rice versus the Pistons. How many points will the Blazers score tonight?
I'm going to go with the 121. Dame Dollar and CJ definitely going to have their way with the Pistons tonight.
Ooh, all right,
I'm agreeing with your picks, I must say.
Okay. These are not bad picks right now. Rockets, Warriors. Pick a winner, Jennifer.
So, look, I have to go with the Warriors, but it is going to be a little more challenging with Oubre out tonight, but I'm going with the Warriors.
All right, and margin of victory, Darrell, because I think you're riding with Jennifer here when it comes to the pick of the winner or the pick to win this game. How much will the Warriors win by? Spread is 8.5.
Is that 11 plus?
That's 11 plus, right?
I'm going with 11 plus.
Oh, you got blowout city.
Yeah, come on, man.
All right.
We got to get back on track.
We got one more here. I'll have you pick the winner between the Wizards and Suns, Jennifer.
This is really a question?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Wizards coming off a big win last night.
I know. I'm going to go the Suns.
All right, and the Suns, you think it's going to be a blowout, Darrell? What we got here? 7-9, 10-12, 13-15. Wow, 19 plus?
Nah, I'm not going to go that crazy. I'm going to go 7-9.
Oh, you got the Wizards being competitive.
Yeah, they'd be a little competitive.
All right, there we have it. My picks here, and there you have it. 8 winning predictions from our panel of experts. Download the NBC Predictor app right now so you can win some free cash.
This Sportsnet Central update is presented by Atlantis Casino Resort Spa Reno.
Taking a look at the New Orleans Pelicans, they are experimenting with Zion Williamson as their primary ball handler this season. He's mostly been relegated to getting the rebound and pushing it up and down the floor with the team going with it off of dead balls and free throws. But Friday night against the Sixers, with starting point guard Lonzo Ball out with a hip injury, Stan Van Gundy, Darrell's former coach and now the Pelicans coach, decided it was time for a heavier dose of Point Zion. And this is what Stan Van Gundy said. Tonight, we just decided we're going to play him at the point all night, at least as long as he could go. He had the ball in hands all the time and the ability to make plays and everything else. And the result was Zion Williamson, a career 37 points, 2 off his career high 15 rebounds, and a career high 8 assists in a 7-point win over the 76ers. So Point Zion, were you rocking with that?
I like that. And Stan Van Gundy is known for challenging his players, so not surprised at all that he's putting Zion at the point guard position to let him go, because he's a willing passer and he's a great playmaker.
Yes, his new point forward is now Point Zion. No, I like it too. I mean, he's so strong, he's so physical, he can do everything. So why not use his size at that position? It's a little bit like a LeBron James in that spot. So I like it.
Well, the Warriors have them coming up on the schedule for 2 games of back-to-back in New Orleans. The Pelicans a game behind the Warriors for that 10th spot. Point Zion, he looks like a problem here as we transition to look ahead to the Houston Rockets, who will take on the Warriors tonight at Chase Center. They got blown out last night by the LA Clippers. But that man right there, John Wall, did not play. He will be ready to go tonight versus Steph Curry and the Rockets. They've lost 6 of their last 7 here. It's a team like, look, they're playing for pride right now for Steven Silas and company. Let's hear from the head coach of the Houston Rockets, Steven Silas, on how they would defend the Warriors small ball lineup.
The Warriors still close games with what could be considered a small lineup with Draymond at center. How do you like your latest lineup with Kelly and Christian playing together against the assorted smaller lineups out there, and obviously this one too?
Yeah, it's we've had kind of mixed results with it, I would say. The ability to kind of change defenses has been good with them. The question is, are we able to get to some switching with those guys? And containing penetration has been a little bit of an issue when it comes to the switching. So, yeah, it's kind of still, I think we're 8 games in with Kelly and maybe 6 total with both guys. So it's very small sample right now. We're trying a few things, but overall, I like it.
Take a look at the Rockets forward starting lineups, and John Wall is back in that lineup. And John Wall having a solid season coming off an Achilles tendon injury, 20.5 points per game, nearly 7 assists and 3 rebounds. And the Rockets, this team at one point lost 20 straight games. And recently they lost 6 or 7 here. So let's kick it over to Kara Turk, our Warriors reporter here at NBC Sports Bay Area, powered by Cisco WebEx. The Rockets have been struggling. The Warriors have been struggling. These are 2 struggling teams right now, Kev. What is going on with the Rockets and the Warriors?
Well, it's a back-to-back for both of these teams, and both teams are coming off some pretty bad and emotional losses. So you know what happened with the Warriors last night? The mental mistakes at the end of this game resulting in Bradley Beal scoring 6 points in the last 6 minutes as the Wizards snatched that win for their win column. As for the Rockets, remember the number 10. Okay, so in the first quarter, the Rockets led the Clippers by 10. In the second quarter, the Clippers outscored the Rockets 41-10. That's unbelievable. In the third quarter, the Rockets did come out feisty. They outscored the Clippers by 10, but it just wasn't enough. So emotional swings for the Rockets. The Warriors are left wondering, like, what on earth just happened in our last game? So 24 hours. It's been about 24 hours, and Steve Kerr addressed the emotion before tip-off tonight.
Well, it's this is the NBA. The beauty of it is there's always another game, and it's actually kind of nice because that was a gut punch last night, and you don't want to sit around for 3 days and think about that one. You'd rather just move on, and that's what we're going to do. We've got a really improved Houston team coming in. Obviously, they've completely changed their team since we last saw them a few weeks ago. And they've been playing well. They beat Dallas, last week. They've got a good groove going. Obviously, Wall is back, giving them that great push and transition. And Olynyk and Bradley are playing well since the trade from Miami. So it's a different group, but we're excited for the challenge and just time to get back up off the mat.
The Rockets have been struggling, haven't been very consistent, lots of injuries. However, they play with spirit. So the Warriors really have to lock in. They have to take care of their business. And they only have 20 games left this season to do it, Bonte.
And without Kelly Oubre Jr. tonight, they can't overlook the Houston Rockets, that's for sure. We saw what happened last night when they overlooked the Wizards. The Wizards came in and bit them. So, Kara, thanks so much tonight for that breakdown here as we look to find your edge and try to win some people some more money here. Brought to you by Atlantis Casino Resort Spa in Reno. Dubs are 8.5-point favorites tonight, but you see, they are only 46% against the spread in its last 117 games. The under is 80% in Houston's last 15 games as an underdog versus Pacific teams. And, of course, the Warriors failed to cover the 5-point spread last night against Washington. For more information like this, check out NBC Sports Edge to try to win some free money, NBCSportsEdge.com. And as we look at the Houston Rockets, John Wall is a player to watch for Houston. Kevin Porter Jr. is a player to watch. And if you don't have your backcourt or your defense tightened up here, John Wall and Kevin Porter Jr. can get by you and give up easy alley-oops to Christian Woods.
Yeah, both of them are a problem. John Wall, one of the fastest guys in the NBA still. Kevin Porter Jr., one of these young up-and-coming players out of Seattle, another guy out of Seattle that can really, really play. So the Warriors got to come in locked in tonight. They can't take this team for granted. They can't play their record. They have to be attention to detail because these guys can really score.
Well, they can, and Porter Jr. and Wood are developing some really good chemistry with the pick and roll, and there are parts that are coming together for them. And when they amp up their defense, that's when they play the best. Against the Clippers, when they went on that run, it was their defensive energy that got it done. So I feel like the team that comes out tonight the most locked in with the most defensive energy is going to come away with a win.
Yeah, Christian Wood averaging 21 points per game and 9 rebounds after signing that big deal with the Rockets coming over from Detroit. But it all starts with Steph Curry for the Golden State Warriors as he continues to chase Wilt Chamberlain to become the all-time leading scorer in Golden State Warriors history. He needs 56 points to tie, 57 to take the lead. And look, since Steph Curry's been back in the last 5 games from that tailbone contusion, 5 of the last 6, of course, he missed the Toronto game on a back-to-back. He's averaging 35.5 points per game, 6.5 rebounds, 4 assists, shooting 50% from the field and over 50%, or excuse me, 40% from the three-point line, but nearly 90% from the free throw line.
Yeah.
He's balling right now.
After he passes Wilt, does he just become superhuman? I mean, he's really playing like it's unbelievable the way that he's playing this season. And I keep coming back to his conditioning and just the way that if you watch him an entire game, the amount of conditioning, the amount that he moves is amazing. And the way he's taking the ball to the rim this year, Darrell.
Yeah, he's so locked in. I know last year, him only being able to play a few games, he's not taking this for granted at all. And you can tell every time he touches that court, he's trying to go out there and put on a show and carry his teammates and lead his teammates. So it's going to be exciting to see him catch Wilt. Man, that's crazy.
Talking about big time.
That's big time.
Talking about a guy who averaged 50 points per game in a season, Joe.
I know.
Can you imagine that?
I can't, but, I have to say just a little bit off of his game, raising a young son, one of the things that I appreciate so much about Steph is who he is as a person. So to see someone like him become one of the greatest of all time is really exciting because the way that young boys can look up to him and girls, it's his role model, his example is second to none.
All right, it's time to connect with an absolute legend, courtesy of Comcast Business. Every connection counts. Vanderveer, will join us here as we look at the video from last Sunday. Stanford, the Stanford Cardinal women's basketball team winning their first championship since 1992 over Arizona, beating the Wildcats 3 times this season, and they survived 54-53. Of course, in the semifinal, beat South Carolina with some late-game heroics there defensively. And Tara joins us here on Warriors Pregame Live, presented by Comcast Business. Tara, welcome to the show. We got your former player, Jennifer Azzi here, Darrell Wright, and Bonte Hill. And first of all, I got to ask you, Tara, this is the first time I've seen you smile in a week. After the national championship, the confetti coming down, I thought you lost, man. Can you crack a smile for us?
There it is.
Yeah, I'm really happy. Thank you very much for having me on. And, Jennifer, it's been a long time. We won our first national championship with Jennifer and Katie Stedding, Sonia Henning, Tricia Stevens, and 31 years later, here we are. So it's pretty exciting.
Well, I think one of the things that I get asked all the time that I would actually like to ask you is how do you feel like players and coaching players over different generations, how have you changed and how have the players changed?
I think people Jennifer, probably are more the same than they are different. Great players like to be coached. They want to know what they're supposed to be doing, and they want to play team basketball. Our world is different, social media. And the only thing I would say is maybe, with the iPhone, iPad, all the sometimes you have to really coach we and us.
Mm-hmm. Well, one of the things that you've talked about a lot this season was this being a really special group. And, I've watched your team, obviously, all these years, these 31 years. And this is one of the first seasons that I said from early on in the season that you guys were going to win the national championship. What was it about this group in particular?
Why don't you tell me that? One of the things I'm really thank Chris Murphy over with the Santa Cruz Warriors. We had to move to Santa Cruz, and we practiced in the Santa Cruz Warriors facility, and we played there. It was a very difficult season. We're traveling, testing, living on the road, cold food, everything you can imagine. But the sisterhood was really strong. This is a team that really gets along really well. They're very close. We have one of the Curry godchildren on our team with Cameron Brink. And, so I think we just felt that it was our year, and we got after it and practiced hard and improved, and it was really exciting to get it done.
Coach, would you consider this run one of the tougher runs due to all the circumstances, playing in a bubble. Would you say this is one of the harder or one of the tougher challenges for you guys?
You know, by far. You know, when Jennifer was on the team her senior year, we got stranded in a snowstorm. We had to sleep in the high school with blankets from the jail. And I told our team that, and they're like, that's nothing compared to what we're going through. So this year was really, really challenging. And I'm really proud of how well people demonstrated such great resilience, determination. All the things that we had to do off the court helped us on the court.
You know, Tara, you've accomplished a lot. 3 national championships. You're in the Naismith Memorial Hall of Fame and the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. All the Final Fours and Pac-10, Pac-12 championships. How long do you see yourself doing this? Because it still seems like you're in your prime. You're coaching at a high level. But do you ever sit back and think, man, you know, I've got a lot of years here. I've been at Stanford since 1985. How long do you see yourself doing this?
Well, I think that, you know, that's not always my decision. That's up to Stanford, too. But I would like to keep coaching as long as it's fun. And, you know, we have the support of the, you know, great community we have, and just enjoy. I'm enjoying it. But I will say I do like to do other things. So at some point, I'm going to probably say, hey, I'd like to go skiing during the winter or you know, traveling. But, you know, when you have a great team, players like Haley Jones, Cameron Brink, Lexi Hall, Lacey Hall, Ashton Prechtel, all these players coming back, and the great freshmen that we have coming in, you know, it's exciting. And we want to get back in front of our fans. I know that the Warriors have really missed their fans. We've missed our fans tremendously.
Coach, I know you coached a lot of great players. Where would you rank Jennifer on that long list of great players?
She's at the top of the list, and you know I'm really fortunate to coach a lot of great players. But Jennifer is competitive, and you know she came to Stanford when you know she put Stanford on the map along with Sonia Henning and Tricia Stevens, Val Whiting, Stacey Parson. That was a great team that she played with. There's Tricia shooting there right there. Katie Stedding, Angela Taylor, just great women that. Jennifer was the engine of that train. She loved to play fast. So, you know, I love coaching Jennifer, and, you know, the same as like this year, I think Jennifer would really enjoy playing with the players this year. I mean, Haley likes to go. All of our team likes to get out and go. Fran would be dunking on some of your passes, Jennifer.
Haley Jones,
that would be different.
The most outstanding player in the Final Four. But Tara, I got to ask you, what was it like recruiting Jennifer out there in the middle of nowhere in Tennessee?